It's hard to sit out for a day in the salt water without a degree of anticipation. The abundance of water stretching out in front of you provides an almost endless environment for a variety of target species that are more than willing to take a fly. Getting out in the water and figuring out the situation, the wind, the cloud cover and the tide is always part of the adventure. Your mind works through the tactics as you try to figure out what might work in these conditions. Today we'll be targeting bonefish on the flats. We abandon our skiff on the water's edge and stalk the fish on foot. The bonefish are drawn onto the flats as the tide rises and gives the fish access to an abundance of food that lies in the sands, inaccessible to them in low tide. They swarm into these enclosed regions of the flats, hungry to root out the plentiful shrimps and crabs from the sandy bottom. We match up these tiny creatures to the flies in my fly box, hoping they'll fool a hungry bonefish. I'm fishing with a 7-weight setup with a floating line. I've got a tapered 16-pound 10-foot leader on with an extra 2 feet of 12-pound fluoro on the tail. In my view, there are few better lines for this than the Rio Quick Shooter. A fast pickup with a short front-loaded head. The line allows for a fast response when the bonefish are approaching. Keeping your eyes trained on them is key for success.
Where are they? Just here? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Coming towards us.
They're going off the back side there, yeah. Is.
Oh yeah. Just there.
Drop. Good. Nice long strip.
We spot a large shoal of bonefish immediately in front of us. It always amazes me how there can be so many of them so close, but you can't see them immediately. Once you see them, of course, you can't unsee them. It's surreal at times.
Same? Oh, sorry.
The tactics in this situation is to try and pick a fish off the edge of the shoal and try not to spook the rest of the group. When they're feeding like this in large numbers, they don't spook too easily, but still, landing a wayward cast in the main body of the fish will definitely put them on edge.
Pick up in there another one.
We see a fish take notice of the fly, and it's following. It quickly turns away without taking it. It's not spooked, it just turns back towards the shoal and disappears. I guess it probably thought there are easier ways to feed than chasing that fly. I cast on their fly, but it lands short of the pack. They aren't going to see that. Still, it's better to be short when they're casting long and land the fly in the body of the shoal and spook them.
These bonefish move slowly into the deeper water. We decide to leave that group and instead search for some more fish in shallower water. They're much easier to stalk in the shallows. It's always good to have a variety of flies in your box when it comes to bonefish. Often a subtle change of fly will make all the difference as you try to match up the fly with what the bones happen to be feeding on. Of course, it can be a bit of guesswork, but always be prepared to try something different when targeting these fish.
My guide considers our position and gives me instructions to get ready. He's very conscious of the fact we might get a few here, so he makes his decisions carefully.
Oh yeah. So just on the edge, right?
Yeah, this is all bones. All this shadow.
So just land the fly on the edge.
I make a cast and I get the fly close to a fish in the peripheral of the shoal. There's no sign of any fish spooking, so all good so far. They're obviously hungry and have the security and safety of numbers to protect them. We see a fish take notice of the fly and it's following. It quickly turns away without taking it. My guide tells me to recast longer and I send the fly in a few metres further this time.
Good. Nice long, slow strips.
I strip the fly slowly to encourage the bone to follow.
Just come in.
I can see an aggressive bone charging towards and grabs the fly. As with every decent bonefish, this one's off like a bullet as soon as it feels the tension of the line. It makes short work of the line in my hand and is into the backing in seconds. This is great sport. It's hard not to enjoy these fish, and I can understand why anglers have such a passion for chasing these bones on the flats.
Take 'em.
While I'm playing this bonefish, my guys spotted some GTs cruising at the back of the bonefish shoal. These Alphonse guys just love these jeeps. Hope they'll still be hanging around and we can get a cast at them after this bonefish.
I let it run when it wants to and rein it back in when it tires. These fish aren't particularly big in comparison to some of the species out here, but they fight hard for their size and it's always good to get hold of them. My guide is here and readies himself to bring the fish in. This feels like a good sized bone, so I'm desperate not to lose it. And it's still a long way out as it peels more and more backing from my reel.
There's a big jeep coming over there. See him behind the bones there.
Oh yeah.
Big dark paddle.
The GTs are still around. They've moved round to the left now. I wonder if they're hanging around these bones. I've never heard of GTs hunting bonefish though. I wonder if that's a thing.
Eventually it slows down. I've doubled down on the drag and I'm able to recover line. It still has some strength, but it allows itself to be brought towards us. We can clearly see the fish moving quickly in front of us. It's obviously aware of us as well, and it makes another run.
What are you gonna hunt again?
This time though, hasn't got the energy to overcome the drag and I stop it quickly and recover more line. I get it in quite close, but from nowhere it finds the power to push out again and makes another incredible run.
This might be on.
My anxiety increases when I see the guide reaching for his net. This usually means he knows it's a big bonefish and doesn't want to risk losing it by handlining it in. The fish obliges towards the net and my guide quickly captures it.
That's a good size bone. Hold on.
The fish has taken this fly really deep. It must have really wanted it. My guide carefully removes the fly while keeping the fish wet. If you've ever handled bonefish, you'll know they have a film of slime over their entire body. To preserve this protective coating, it's best to keep them wet and handle the fish as little as possible. This gives the fish the best possible chance of a quick recovery. A weak bonefish is an easy target for the predators that roam these salt flats.
Photo with him.
I'll just take some video of them and we'll...
That is a good sized bonefish.
Hold him?
It put
Yeah,
up
you
a
hold him.
great
You hold him,
fight.
you hold him.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm always fascinated by the colours of these fish. The silver flanks are complemented with the dark green sandy colours across its back. It's an excellent camouflage from both above and below the water. It's no wonder these fish are called the ghosts of the flat. We'll let this one go and see if we can't pick up another fish from this shoal. See you next time. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
Nicely done. Good job.
Good work. Thanks, mate. Oh, can I get a hand?
Yeah.
Oh, they're still there.
Yeah, that's cool.